Hey guys, just a friendly reminder to make sure you go subscribe to Rojas Media Podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast for sports takes, opinions, interviews, and more. That's Rojas Media Podcast, streaming wherever you get your podcast fix.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of Head to Head. Today, we are looking at two of the greatest seasons by a male tennis player ever. Arguably, it's not even, I don't think it's debatable that these two seasons are definitely top 3, top 5 all time. Top 5 for sure. But we're looking at 2006 Roger Federer and 2015 Novak Djokovic. Now, I know it's, especially in today's era with Nadal, Federer, Djokovic, the stands of each of these guys are going to try to make their cases for why each of these guys are the best of all time, or the best right now, best ever, whatever, right? So, but today I want to look at two particular seasons, that being 2006 Roger Federer, where he went 92-5, won 3 majors, and won 12 titles. And we look at 15 Novak Djokovic, where he won 3 Grand Slams, went 82-6, won 11 titles. Now, I know a lot of people have watched mainly, maybe started watching tennis mainly during the Big 3 era, Big 4 era, even with Murray in the mid, 2014, 2015, 2016, right? We'll say, well, Djokovic, clearly, there's no debate that Djokovic's 2015 season was the best of all time. But if you look at 2006 Roger Federer, the numbers are very close. And I think you could really make cases for both, right? The numbers are extremely close. Federer, 12 titles. Djokovic, 11 titles. His winning percentage in 06, Federer, almost 95%. Djokovic is 93, almost 94%, right? It's very, very slim. Look, Federer won 16 out of 17 tournaments. Djokovic won about 15 out of 16 tournaments. Now, Djokovic obviously didn't play as many matches, but you can also say that Djokovic played in a harder era. And Federer, but you can't discount Federer. Federer was playing a 20-year-old Rafa Nadal, and we're talking about Nadal as being one of the biggest horses in sports history, not even just tennis. He's playing a Rafa Nadal at 20 years old that is going to work you to death. I think that was the year that the Rome final, it could have been, I could be mistaken, that match went like 5 hours, 5 minutes. Now, this was a day when Masters were going 5 sets. It was best of 5. Now, Fed's only problem that year was Nadal. Not that Andy Roddick and Marcos Baghdatis aren't marquee players and everything like that, but Djokovic was playing a Nadal, and people are going to argue that Nadal wasn't himself that year. He had a wrist injury. It's still Rafa Nadal. It's not like Nadal was injured the entire year and didn't play tennis whatsoever. Nadal was still playing tennis. He was still, he was making it past the first week of a major still. So you can't discredit Djokovic completely. I mean, Djokovic played Nadal, like I just said. He faced a really good Roger Federer, 34 years old, but as we've seen, Federer's still going strong, and Federer won 2 more majors after that. And he faced an Andy Murray in his prime. Andy Murray was a part of that Big 4 back then. That was when Andy Murray was a part of the Big 4. So it's very slim. I mean, both of them, look, Djokovic, I think, lost 14 sets at Grand Slams. Federer lost 13 sets at Grand Slams. And ironically, they both won 3 Grand Slams, and the Grand Slam they lost were both the French Open. Federer being to Nadal and Djokovic to Stan Wawrinka, where people might say, well, Djokovic didn't have to play Nadal that year. Well, obviously, he clearly wasn't even going to win that tournament because Nadal, didn't even get to, well, if he couldn't even beat Stan Wawrinka. So, and not to discount Stan. Stan's a great player. Stan, maybe in a different era, might have had more than 3 majors. Who knows? But both of them won all three of their majors in 4 sets, lost the French Open in 4 sets, both of them. Now Federer had to face the King of Clay, 11 or 10 more French French Opens later, of course. But me personally, I gotta edge Djokovic. Just a tiny little edge. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there are going to say it's clearly Djokovic. Well, if you look at the numbers and you can say that, Federer had to face Nadal, and he lost a bunch of matches in Nadal that year. Not a bunch, but a few matches. Federer still had to face top-notch competition. I mean, Andy Roddick wasn't he was a bad player or anything. Andy Roddick, one of the best serves I've ever seen. Beat him in the U.S. Open. But they're still top. Doesn't matter what year it is, what era. There's still top-notch competition that you have to face. But I have to edge Djokovic just a little more just because he had to face Federer and a prime Andy Murray where he's 28 years old. He's about the same age as Djokovic. And he still had to face Rafa Nadal. So that's where I edge him out just a little bit. But you can, these are two of the greatest tennis seasons ever. But in my opinion, I'm going Novak Djokovic. But you guys let me know who you're taking. Because Federer, before Djokovic's 2015 season, you can even look at Djokovic's 2011 season. That's that's a pretty similar story. But in my opinion, I'd say 15 Djokovic was probably just a little bit better than 2011. But you can make arguments for both sides. But let me know who had possibly the best tennis season of all time. I want to know in the comments. Let me know on Instagram, Twitter, all that. So until another head-to-head, I will see you guys next time.